Karen Vicks, Agency Connects, Philadelphia, playing the role of Loren and the Reverend. I was 14, and I was in South Carolina at the time. That's where I was born. I had been sexually abused by a family member. I actually didn't know that what my family member had been doing to me was sex. I found out that it was sex in a phys ed class when they showed us a health film about sex and puberty, and I found out that what they were doing to me was not right. I also remembered that I had gotten my period, but I hadn't had it in a while, and the film said if you have a period, that makes you a woman and you're able to get pregnant at that point. And I realized, because I remember the film said, when a woman gets pregnant, she stops having her period. So I said, maybe I'm pregnant. I decided to have an abortion because shame, fear of repercussions in the family. I didn't want to be seen as a person who let someone do that to them. So I took all the blame because I had been sexually abused from the time I was about 5 or 6. And in my family, you didn't tell. It was a dirty, dark secret you didn't talk about. I remember I just wanted it to be over. I was scared to do it, but I was even more fearful of what was growing inside of me. The scariest part was when I went to the health center and they told me I had to tell an adult. So I decided to find my mom, who was an alcoholic living on the other side of Allendale. I went and I told her. Oh, I didn't tell her who did it now. I just told her I didn't know. I just told her I was raped and I didn't know who did it. And someone pulled me into a yard and I didn't see their face. And she went with me to sign the papers and had the abortion. So I guess you could say that she supported me. Some people don't have support. So at least for the instance, I felt supported. Well, I wonder how many people out there simply want to hear God loves you and understand that God says, I will be with you always. And that includes the decision-making place that many people find themselves. See, there is always a place for compassion, and there's always a place for love, and there's always a place for free will. But we have to know that God is with us and enables us to make the decisions that we must make, that others will not ever understand. And for the clergy people who say, I know what God would say, I say, shame on you, because you are not God. Look, I don't know what God would say, but I do know that God speaks to us all. Many don't believe that God said I should preach. I can't even begin to tell you the number of clergymen who have looked at me and said, God doesn't call women to preach. Well, God called me. And if we could all just accept that we all hear God differently, period, well, we might be in a much better place. See, I understand God to say, you were created in my image. So I would say, you, my child, have the power. That power has been given to you, and I trust you with it. And we will grow through this. Not just we will go through this, but we will grow through this. For the person who decides to move forward with the pregnancy, we will grow through this. For the person who decides to terminate, we will grow through this. See, that's one of the things I think that is so helpful when people have an opportunity to talk or counsel with someone who is really open. Then it becomes a growing place. So if you're already a parent, parenting another, or healing, for the incest survivor, then it becomes a healing moment wherever you are standing in your story, that you're moving consciously into your life in an empowered moment. That's what I say.